Hi, I'm at the Mahopac High School in Mahopac, New York, and we're looking at the SEAC Pond. The SEAC Pond is the pond on the premises of the Mahopac High School and campus, and these are three floating islands that I was instrumental with having installed and providing in-kind funding contributions for helping Mr. Bob Connick and the Genesis Project ascertain monies from the EPA to get a grant to restore this pond. And what you're looking at here is about 3 years after the installation of these floating islands. And essentially we've pinned jute to the surface, which looks like it pretty much has all rotted away. But we planted sedge grass and other local indigenous vegetation. Took some cattails on there too. And the premise for this is to provide surface area for zooplankton to adhere to and periphyton to accumulate on. And what happens with this process is it's an arrow in the quiver, if you will, for providing back wetland function. And what happens with wetland function is, since we lost so much wetlands from building and developing, basically the wetlands provide for a filter. And the filter, when we build and develop in urban and rural locations, is it takes away from the ability from the wetland to provide filtration. And what we do here with this method, with utilizing the floating islands, is each one of these floating islands provide pretty much for roughly 1 acre of wetland filtration to be brought back within the water body itself. So it certainly looks like it's doing its job. When we started this out, there was a lot of weeds, and the water looks like it's fairly clear, and it looks like there's not a lot of weeds that are anywhere encroaching and dominating and taking over this little pond. I certainly hope they're doing the biology, the aquatic biology, and the curriculum. If you look at the littoral shelf really tight, where the land basically meets the water, you can see a pretty fine definition of where the land meets the water, that the vegetation is not encroaching and impacting into the water body itself. As a matter of fact, it looks like the water body is doing fairly well. What I wanted to add to this project was a little bit of circulation, some dissolved oxygen, and certainly to dose with biogenic silica and trace micronutrients, which are minerals necessary for providing silicious diatoms. And the silicious diatoms were more than likely present already, and it looks like they're doing their job, and they become integrated. If you looked underneath that mat, which is, interestingly enough, it's made from recycled bottles. They're very expensive. I believe this was $15,000. You know, it's definitely a viable solution. It's a way to go. It's not a silver bullet. There's not one to be found. I know that for sure. But this is definitely helping, and it looks like Mr. Connick has done a very good job at providing wetland vegetation. It looks like they've been keeping up on that, and this is 3 years since I've had anything to do with it, so I'm very proud to say that it looks like it's doing its job, and I'm helpful. I'm very glad I was helpful. Thank you.